in this lesson, we will discuss the art of holding space. Now, we recently talked about creating safe and sacred space. What is the art of holding space and why is that different, especially in a trauma-informed capacity? Well, it is an art, right? It is a way to be able to finesse a situation so that you are able to co-regulate with someone else. Now, co-regulation is really important when you are a trauma-informed teacher in any modality, but in particular in yoga, because it is a somatic practice of the body, we are activating the nervous system, and that can go in either direction, right? It can either overactivate someone and they can deregulate, or it can actually stir up just the right amount of perfection for them in that moment. And that's what we're looking for. Now, this takes time. You may have to learn this skill over time by trial and error. If you are a yoga teacher now and you are currently teaching in large groups or one-on-one or anything in between, you probably have a way of going about holding space for others. Co-regulation, though, is something a little bit more, requires a lot more energy from you. And what do I mean by that? Well, when we hang out with our friends or loved ones and we feel very comfortable and we're being ourselves, we are going back and forth. It's sort of like a game of ping pong or tennis, ideally. They share their situations and stories, good events, bad events, everything in between, and vice versa. However, when you are holding space for others, trying to help co-regulate, you are creating a very blank canvas for them. They should be able to paint their artistic masterpiece on your blank canvas, and whatever populates sort of thing. You shouldn't be adding to that color in any capacity. And what do I mean by that? Well, considering that I'm using the word art, I thought a good art analogy would suffice. And so what I mean by that is, you know, when we're in a band and we're playing music together, everyone has their instrument. We have to all come together and make beautiful music. It's similar to that, except you are the instrument, you know? And in some capacity, they are playing off of what you are being able to offer in that particular moment. This is a lot of work, and this is why trauma-informed capacities and teachings and holding space and all of that is not easy. But it is absolutely a beautiful practice to become really proficient at and to keep working to get better and better at your way of handling it. So when we are holding space for others, we are allowing them to be their most complete self in that moment, whatever that looks like. You know, whether they're going through something that makes them emotional, rather they are stoic, rather they are excited to be in your presence, rather they are really disconnected from you or from self, it doesn't matter. You are still bringing exactly what you need to bring so that they can work through all that they need to work through. If you're working with someone one-on-one, for example, let's say you're working in a 60-minute capacity and you're doing a private session and you're helping them to identify what's happening in their body. Perhaps they're having a shoulder situation and, you know, they're really having trouble releasing tension in their shoulder. There's not any injury that they're aware of, and, you know, they've been cleared by all their medical practitioners so that they can work with you. And we come to realize that they're just holding a lot of tension, a lot of stress. Maybe they need to relax their jaw and they don't know why they're clenching it, and you can physically see that their body is holding on. Now, instead of you trying to work something out that they're not quite ready to work out, you just bring calm, you bring peace, you bring connection, you bring consistency. If you're meeting with them, you know, every Tuesday at 2, you are always present, you're always available. It's the one place in their world, perhaps, that they can have that they can lean in on that. You're not necessarily taking on that energy, right? You have your healthy boundaries, you have your self-care practices, you practice your own somatic practices like yoga, but rather you are able to bring that ability to co-regulate where they feel safe and secure in your presence, and they know that you're there to listen. You're not there to try to get them to see things a new way or to give them advice or anything in particular. You have no goal, no mission other than to hold that space for them, whatever they need. And this is a big ask because many of us are used to being useful in a different capacity. We want to give solutions to problems. We want to help, advise, connection, talk it out, share your own experiences. You want to treat this person like you are with your friends and family, right? That ping pong tennis game. But this is different. In order to co-regulate and to offer the space that someone needs to hold that space for them, it's just that. You become the table. They can place whatever they want on the table. It could be a glass of water, a meal, a plant, an animal. It doesn't matter. You're the table, right? And it is not your goal to get them to see things in any new way, but rather for them to be able to figure out who they are to themselves. And this is what makes being a trauma-informed yoga teacher so absolutely beautiful. Now, as a yoga teacher in general, we are taught and we are encouraged to hold space for others in this capacity. As a trauma-informed yoga teacher, we add in that element of being able to help co-regulate, being able to be of service in a way that is subtle and almost invisible. And when someone is, let's just say, having an experience that is new to them or is, disconcerting or is exciting, whatever it may be, their nervous system is fluctuating. Your goal is to allow that, to encourage it, to help them figure out how they feel. And we do this by simply just being present. How does that feel in your body right now? How can you just focus on your breath right now? Are you feeling your belly move up and move down when you take an inhale and an exhale? It's just bringing simplicity back to their frame of mind, to their thought process. It's not about, why do you feel this way? Why are you sad? Are you okay? It's not about that. It's, I see that you are feeling activated in some capacity. Lean into that. So hopefully you can see that this is an art. There's not one way to do it. You might not always get it right. You might lean into some habits that you have, which may be to help the person be better than they are in this moment in your mind, right? But try to draw yourself back. Try to think of yourself as that blank canvas, as that instrument, as that table. You are just exactly what they expect you to be, and all you are doing is mirroring back to them who they are, but in the most kind, compassionate, gentle way possible. So the art of holding space is a big part of being a trauma-informed yoga teacher. So this is one of the areas where you can think about how you can do this, and you can really work on doing this with people who know and love you. And you can hone this beautiful skill and turn it into an absolute art of your making, helping others become the best artists they can be in your presence. Namaste.